Will Dennis Kucinich still be the mayor in 13 days? The countdown for the recall election has started, and the battle lines are being drawn on television, as Jenny Krem now reports. Jenny?
In this day and age, TV can either make or break you. A politician's promises and platform aren't as important as his makeup man and an ad agency. Fighting for his political future, the mayor has taken to the airwaves, spending some $60,000 to sell the product to the public with TV spots like this.
This is Cleveland City Hall, your City Hall.
To keep his job as Cleveland's mayor, Kucinich turned to Hollywood for a producer to help create these commercials. They're entitled A Piece of Cake, which no doubt the mayor hopes will describe his win over the recall move.
Do you want to lose your city, your government, to a few hungry special interest groups? Vote against the recall of Mayor Dennis Kucinich.
Meanwhile, those who hope that Kucinich, here I am, winds up with cake on his face, are launching a media blitz of their own. So far, they've raised $16,000 to get this message out to the voters to put the mayor out of office.
I am your city, and I need your help. Where once I was proud and respected, I have grown ashamed and ridiculed as our dreams are crushed. We were growing, but now my pockets are emptied and my people neglected. And I turn to you, for I am your home, your jobs, your Cleveland. And I pray, before it's too late, you'll make them stop.
On August 13th, vote for Cleveland. Vote for recall.
So both sides hope success on the screen means success at the ballot box.
I know, and we need to make sure we do everything we can do so people understand how to vote. If they're voting for the mayor, they vote against the recall.
Right. We have 13 days to get that across.
Get that across. Okay, thank you, Jenny. Well, the filled-up sign is now hanging at Cleveland's 4 junked car lots. Government reporter Al DePietro toured one lot filled with more than 600 cars at East 75th and Woodland. And this is only a portion of the nearly 1,700 cars the city has towed from streets. Some of the lots filled up during the past 3 months. And Lieutenant Howard Rudolph tells why it takes so long to dispose of a junker.
The processing of the vehicles takes so long to comply with the state law. By the time we research the titles at the Crown Building here and take the information to Columbus, they research their records and verify it, make registered notification to the owners. It takes time. It takes time.
Lieutenant Rudolph says he is trying to clear the Woodland lot by selling junkers to scrap dealers at about $16 per car. He also says that car owners apparently feel it's easier on their wallets just to abandon their junkers and let the city pick up the car and the cost.
Well, this morning, Barry Havlick packed up his knapsack and started on a walk. But it was no little stroll that Barry was embarking on. In fact, his destination was Los Angeles. Barry is a psychology student, and he figures the best way to learn about people is to get out and to talk to them.
About it. I'm not very nervous about it, nor apprehensive. I feel confident and comfortable that I can handle situations. At the same time, I don't know what might come up, so it's kind of challenging that way.
Barry is taking his Citizens Band radio with him in case of emergencies. He says it will be taking him about 3 months to complete the almost 3,000-mile trek. If you take advantage of one of the biggest values in town, the 10-cent RTA loop bus downtown, something better is on its way. Downtown merchants want better routes, more identifiable buses and maps, and RTA is responding. Regional transit experts are looking at where the pockets of people are downtown, like the 40-story Erie View Tower, the Federal Building, the CSU campus, and so forth, so they can send more loop buses to where the people are. Greg Fern tells about one phase of the program.
RTA is about to institute an entirely new graphic standards program. And in this graphic standards program, we're going to be taking a look at different classes of service, such as the loop bus. And one of the things we've found is that color coordination and a better street graphics program will lend greater understanding to the overall marketing effort for the loop services and awareness for the customers themselves.
And tomorrow, RTA is going to be giving us a look at the new graphics for loop buses and regular bus runs.
The Cleveland Board of Education right now is resuming a discussion with their Deputy Superintendent for Desegregation, Charles Leftwich. Roger Morris is live at the board right now with one of our action cams. And Roger, We understand that you have some important news and update on the desegregation case.
That's right, Dave. The board has just begun its meeting here. We adjourned it. But the big news today is out of Cincinnati, where the appeals court has ordered a stay of the execution of Judge Frank Battisti's order of last week, calling for the state auditor, Tom Ferguson, to release some $14 million for busing for the purpose of purchasing buses for Cleveland schools this fall. Now, that order just came down this afternoon. There's going to be a hearing on it this Friday. So in the meantime, the Cleveland schools and the State Board of Education have been meeting all day with the representative of the National Bus Company, hoping to come up with a contract for the purchase of direction of the bus program and implementation of it this fall. However, they told me that the representative of that company says there's no way they're going to enter into that contract until they have the money guaranteed them. And with this latest ruling of the Court of Appeals, nothing is certain on that right now. So we're waiting to see what happens here tonight. We'll fill you in more at 11 o'clock. Roger Morris, live with the Action Cam at the Board of Education.
Thank you very much, Roger. Well, Fred Griffith will be in to comment about the news in just a minute.
And then we'll have a look back at football's greatest weekend. So stay with us.
Reach for the bright new light. Genesee Light Beer. Light beer with great taste.
Apple pie for me.
Just coffee.
What willpower. You don't seem hungry, and you're really losing weight. How?
The Dexatrim diet plan. 1 Dexatrim a day helps the pounds go away because it helps you stick to a good weight loss diet. Its effective formula is released slowly all day.
Only 1 Dexatrim a day. Helps the pounds go away, thanks to the Dexatrim diet plan.
Dexatrim is available at all great discount drugstores where you save more ways.
You want all the samples in Seattle by tomorrow? Or the deal is off?
Relax. Just relax. It'll be on your desk in the morning. Toledo? Sure. Overnight? Sure. Tomorrow? Sure.
Absolutely. Positively.
Promise them anything.
You bet.
Then call Federal Express.
No problem.
Federal Express, when it absolutely positively has to be there overnight.
Folks down in Canton today spent the day unwinding from another hectic but very successful Hall of Fame weekend. They think nearly 300,000 spectators were lining the parade route on Saturday morning to view what was the largest Hall of Fame entourage in Canton's history. 115 different units on display in that 3.5-mile journey from downtown out to the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Now, tonight at 7 here on TV5, we're going to present an hour-long special on football's greatest weekend featuring a complete look at all, and I mean a complete look at all of the activities involved. Nev Chandler and Jenny Krem, that's not them, but Nev and Jenny and Bill Yunkin will be the host of the highlights. And here's Fred now to talk a little more about that. Fred?
Dave, last week I was kind of afflicted with a fidgetiness. It seemed like I was supposed to be doing something that I had somehow forgotten about. I realized that it was time for the annual visit to the Canton Hall of Fame, something that I had covered for several consecutive years. We used to live rather dangerously. We'd film up through the ceremonies before the Hall of Fame game, and then we'd come hurrying back, riding in the car, and hitting the air at 7 o'clock with our documentary, which somehow providentially always seemed to work. It was always a good experience for me. The Saturday morning parade especially impressed me. I doubt that any city anywhere has one that's the equal to it. This afternoon I saw Russ Herbert, one of our action cam operators, and I asked him how it had been down there. He said it couldn't have been better, that everyone concerned with the weekend had been completely cooperative. I asked Neville Chandler for his reaction, and his was the same. Everything had worked. And the people of Canton, once again, were the stars of the weekend through their hospitality, their management of the event, the energy they gave to the festival, and their nearly 100% participation in the parade. Neville and all the technical people put together a state-of-the-art television program on Canton's great weekend. It's a full hour, and as Dave said, it plays tonight at 7 on TV5. The program called The Football City. In it, Nev will be going back to when the work got underway for this year's parade, and will take us through the complexities of orchestrating this remarkable collection of events. It's sometimes forgotten that professional football got its start in Canton. And I can remember my father telling about his first journey ever out of the state of West Virginia an eon ago to see the Canton Bulldogs play. More than 250,000 people see this parade every year. For Cleveland to have a festival of comparable magnitude, there would have to be more than 2 million people involved. When you're in Canton, you never hear anybody who lives there say anything bad about the town. And that's refreshing, but it's no wonder. Any town that can do what Canton does every year doesn't have to have negative feelings. Dave?
You sure that wasn't your grandfather?
No, my dad.
Okay, Fred, thank you.
And as a native Cantonian, Fred, I'll be waiting anxiously 43 minutes from now to watch that program, too. Well, the New York stock market just keeps on rising this summer. Investors today traded just over 34 million shares, sending all of the major indicators up. Dow Industrials gained nearly 6 points, closing at 862 1/4, and the price of an average share was up also 23 cents.
Probably shouldn't mention this because people don't understand that we do work late hours, and if I get up at 6:30 to go down to Firestone to play golf, I don't see why I shouldn't mention that.
6:30 in the morning?
I got up at 6:30 this morning.
If you're brave enough to get up at 6:30 for any reason, nobody should mind that, I don't think.
Well, the folks down there have a big media day once a year, and newspaper and television and radio people from all over northern Ohio go there, and we have a big time, and they're having a big dinner tonight, which Don and I couldn't go to, although we did play together today, and I have to say that I don't know how he did it, but he beat me. I really don't understand
Maybe
it.
he's better.
That's not a possibility.
Okay.
He's a better weatherman, though, and here he is right now with that.
It was talent, David, sheer talent today. The old stick was really going. Yeah, it was a good day down there. It was a great day to be outside. I got up 15 minutes before you did. I got up at 6:15 this morning, so it's going to be a long day today. And we, as I say, had a good day weather-wise. It's been getting better as the day progressed. We'll have another excellent day tomorrow, and we'll check it all after this.
Disgusting roaches.
Don't worry. We're sending them to a motel.
To a motel?
Right. The Black Flag Roach Motel.
Black Flag Roach Motel traps. Kill roaches without poison, unpleasant odor, or mess. Look, bait inside attracts roaches and water bugs. They get stuck and die. Traps full, throw it away.
Black Flag Roach Motel. Roaches check in, but they don't check out.
Kill roaches without poison, unpleasant odor, or mess.
This is a real consumer group, the Kritzweiser family from Waverly, Ohio. They depend on electricity and think it's a good value, but they try to use it wisely. Helen Kritzweiser has found many ways to conserve electricity in her kitchen.
Don't preheat the oven for baking or casseroles. Make sure you have the appropriate size pans on the stovetops. Make sure you have a full load in your dishwasher or your washer and dryer. And don't stand with the refrigerator door opened.
Well, we try to conserve on electricity by using storm windows and storm doors. We insulated the house very well. I think the most important thing about conserving electricity is just good common sense.
There are real consumer groups like the Kritzweisers all over Ohio. They depend on electric service and get full value by using it wisely. And Ohio's electric companies count on them.
Alrighty, it is weather time. Let's have a look at our situation now. It's looking pretty good for the next few days, really. The PSI was just fantastic today. The pollutant standard index reading was only 34. Can you believe that? Well within our clean air standard, and the projection for tomorrow is between 30 and 40. Another excellent day. Good air to breathe. Breathe deeply while you can. Now, let's have a look at around town and have a look at a few numbers and see how we fare today when compared to normals. And our high, well, what we have there is our current reading, which is 75, and that's 24 on the Celsius scale. Humidity is 58%. Winds are out of the north at 8. The barometer 29.96, and we've had no rain for the past 24 hours. Today, 77 was a high, 62 our low. Normals for the date 83 and 62. Last year, 87 was the high, 65 the low. The record high was 97, set in 1955, and the record low 52, set in 1960. The Lake Erie water temperature is still 75 degrees. Winds on the lake tomorrow will be out of the southwest at 10 to 15, and the waves running between 1 and 2 feet. So it'll be a very, very nice day for boating tomorrow. Not too wavy, but still some wind there for the sailors. All right, from the bird's eye view now, let's have a look at the United States from our satellite. And, well, possibly we have a little satellite difficulty, do we? Okay, there it is. Well, you can see cloud cover down to the south of us, and it broke up and moved away very nicely as the day progressed. And as I said, outside now, hardly a cloud in the sky. It's really shaped up well. A little bit more cloud cover to the northwest, but that will not be affecting us. So let's have a look now at our surface map, and we'll find out what's going to be happening for the next 5 days. And it's all looking pretty good. Sunrise time in the morning, 6:22, and the sun will set tomorrow night at 8:45, just 15 minutes before 9 o'clock. Now, this is our situation now. To the northeast, High pressure up in Maine and Vermont and New Hampshire, but still throughout this area I've circled a little bit of lingering shower activity. Down now in northeastern Kentucky, a low pressure cell and a trailing stationary front. This came through here yesterday and the day before. It's just kind of washing out now. Not too much is happening. Tropical storm Amelia, which was down in this area, is no longer a tropical storm, but they are getting still some rain and thunder showers down there as a result of that. Now to the northwest of us, there's still just a little wind shift line, a little trough of low pressure, can hardly be called a cold front. That will wash out before it gets to us. We don't have to worry about it. This high pressure in the northern plain states will be with us for the next few days. Good weather ahead, and this is the way it's looking now. First of all, for tonight, we will have, for the most part, partly cloudy skies and good sleeping weather down to 60. Tomorrow, mostly sunny and 82. Winds out of the southwest at 10 to 15. Then Tuesday, 88 and partly cloudy. Looking ahead now to Wednesday. Chance of showers and 82, just a slight chance. Thursday, partly cloudy, a little bit cooler, down to 78 degrees. And Friday, partly cloudy and 80. So there's our weather situation. Normally, I turn to my right and say hi to Gib Shanley. I can't do it tonight because old Gibber is down at the ball yard, hopefully talking to one of the guys in the white hats. Right, Gibber?
I'm glad you're an Indians fan, Don. The Indians don't wear white hats. They wear white uniforms.
You know what I mean.
Well, this one is John Grubb, who's having a very fine season after a slow start. John, you're having your best year in homers and RBIs. Do you know why?
Well, I must be getting stronger in my old age, you know. So I did a lot of weightlifting the past 3 or 4 years in the off season, and I'm planning on doing the same thing at the conclusion of this season. And I think that's helped a lot as far as my added strength.
Well, that's helping this club because we haven't had that many RBIs from other people.
Well, you know, once we picked up Gary Alexander, that's another home run hitter, and Andy Thornton, of course, hits his home runs, and I'd like to hit a couple more home runs. So it's good to have maybe 3 or 4 home run hitters on your team that can still drive in some runs and also get the hits too when you need them.
If you had a choice, would you rather drive in 100 runs or hit 320?
Oh, that's a tough question, you know. I think, right, that would be great if I could drive in 100 and hit 300, but I'd like to think of myself as being a 300 hitter, and I'd like to be able to end up the year hitting close to that, if not 300.
Are you going to be back here next year?
Well, I have a chance to be a free agent at the end of the year. I guess if they don't make a decision within the next couple months at the conclusion of the season, I can declare myself a free agent. But I'll leave that to my agent, and I guess he's going to do what he feels is best for me and take care of my family.
Do you know if this club, in your opinion, how far away from being a contender?
I think we're becoming very, very strong. Our ball players are playing together quite a bit now at everyday basis, and I think that's helped us quite a bit. And we're playing pretty good ball. We've lost a couple close games, but I feel like we've become much stronger.
Well, then don't leave us, John.
I hope not. I'd like to be here.
Thanks very much.
Thank you.
Back with more sports in 1 minute.
All kinds of people, more than 1 million a day, keep their lives moving on by making a stop along the way at Golf, the stop that keeps America going.
Every day, over 1 million people stop at Gulf. Our self-serve stations are a good reason. Quick, easy to use, and you save on every gallon. Stop at Gulf. We'll help you get where you're going.
Golf, the stop that keeps America going.
Marvin Webster, who led the Seattle Sonics into the NBA playoffs this past year, has been declared a free agent by the commissioner as of 2 months ago. He is free to sign with any NBA team. Apparently, it was a contract discrepancy. And the Cleveland Cavaliers, who could use a Marvin Webster, have been looking at draft choices and free agents. Coach Bill Fitch doesn't see a Marvin Webster there, but he's been pleasantly surprised.
You don't have to be a math major to know that if I'm going to add, I've got to subtract in order to come up with a legal limit. But it's one reason I wanted to look at these kids in July, just to see how they really shaped up with what I think, or my picture of some of the veterans might be.
Another NBA player, Kevin Stakem, says he's close to signing for 3 years with Indiana. He was one of 3 free agents the Celtics have lost. The Browns and the Buffalo Bills played to a 6-6 tie in Sunday's scrimmage at Kent. The Browns' little rookie wide receiver Keith Wright looks like a genuine star of the future. Fast, shifty, jumps well, and he wants to catch the football. Wide receiver all of a sudden is not one of the problem areas for the Cleveland Browns this year. You'll see Pete Rose on TV5 tonight as he tries to extend his hitting streak to 44 consecutive games. The Reds will be in Atlanta. ABC television will be cutting into its scheduled game when Rose comes to bat. Pete had 2 singles yesterday against the Phillies. He's hit safely in 43 straight games. The ancient mark of 44 for the National League belongs to Willie Keeler. The 56 is the magic record. That's held by Joe DiMaggio. Well, I've been trying to figure out all the reasoning behind the Yankees rehiring Billy Martin to manage the club again in 1980. I thought about it the whole weekend. I don't have an answer, except to say that George Steinbrenner and Billy Martin are 2 of the principals involved. I would never hazard a guess on anything they think. The only thing that does make sense is that Billy Martin is extremely popular with the fans in New York, but fact doesn't always have to make sense why he was rehired. There isn't that much sense in that clubhouse anyway. We do have a lot in ours, don't we, David?
In our own particular clubhouse, Gib, you do provide a level of maturity that makes things stable. We'll be back in just a minute.
Hair blowers, curling irons, hot rollers, they can give you heat-dried hair. And heat-dried hair needs more than a regular shampoo. You need the clean that can take it. Flex Balsam and Protein Shampoo. Revlon's unique shampoo clears dirt and grease. But Flex is so rich in conditioning and moisturizing, even heat-dried hair comes bouncy, full of body clean. The more you do to your hair, the more you need Flex Balsam and Protein Shampoo. Flex Anti-Dandruff Shampoo, too, from Revlon. This is enough adhesive. Super strong, super fast to lift 2.5 tons. It's Duro Super Glue. A drop will do to mend jewelry, ceramics, rubber, and glass in only 10 seconds. Super Glue. A drop will do. Super Glue. A product of Loctite Technology.
Super Glue 3, available at these fine stores.
The mayor of Bay Village is asking residents out there for a sprinkling ban from midnight tonight until noon on Wednesday. Now, that's so work can proceed on a new water main that's running between Bay and neighboring Westlake. That's a sprinkling ban in Bay Village from noon tomorrow until, no, let's see, from midnight tonight. The mayor of Bay Village is asking for a sprinkling ban from midnight tonight until noon on Wednesday.
Who would go out and sprinkle their garden anyway at midnight? But some people do, I guess. A West Side Cleveland man is expected to be charged, if he hasn't been already charged, late this afternoon in connection with a sniper attack on 2 Cleveland police officers Saturday evening and an early assault on a civilian. Police arrested yesterday a 19-year-old man at his home on Penton Avenue.
And tonight at 11 o'clock, Mark Kuntz will be here with a special report on how school systems, in fact, the North Royalton school system, is drilling for gas so that they can help prevent any fuel shortages during the winter. That's tonight at 11 here on TV5 Eyewitness News.